Hey, yo, what's good, YouTube? Carfi King here, Aqua Life, baby. Alright, look, so step in, take a seat. I got that Bob's Discount furniture. I got some popcorn. I got some drink. Alright, so it's time for that battle tent, and it's going to be on my avatar of the Blue Wave Tetra Drive Dragon. Now, people have messaged me saying, hey, yo, I need some help explaining the card effect and whatnot to my friends. One of my good friends, told me that his cousin had a ruling dispute with a judge over Tetra Drive, and I also know that as an Aquaforce player, I'm one of me and my good friend and rival Clinton. We're the only Aquaforce players at our locals, and that come in and play Aquaforce week in week out generally, and so I do know that a lot of people don't play against it. People don't play with the deck, and they don't know all the break, right, turn, and Tetra Drive skill and whatnot. So they ask a lot of questions right now. So this video is really just to clarify his rulings, and how the turn should go, whatnot, and as well as some of my ideal battle formations. So let's get into it. Okay, so for the I guess his effect. He has to he has to be the second battle of the turn. He must attack the Vanguard on the second battle of that turn. He must swing at the Vanguard. Then he gets the limit break, his auto effect of after your rear guard swings at the Vanguard, and that was the fourth battle of that turn. You can restand him, drop 2, counterblast 2, and then attack again for the fifth battle. Now, where the ruling people get confused as, yes, he must be the second battle, yes, the battle must go at the Vanguard. But the one part that people seem to forget is that the rear guard, no matter how much power it has, must swing at the Vanguard, whether it's going to hit or not. You must swing at the Vanguard with your fourth attack, or else you will not be able to restand him. So you cannot swing at an intercept unit or anything else. You have to swing at the Vanguard, or else you cannot restand him. So it pretty much goes 1, 2, 3, 4 at the Vanguard, and then restand, swing with him the fifth. If you swing with him and he's the sixth battle of the turn, not the fifth, then you're not going to be able to get his limit break off. He has to be the fifth battle. If you exceed 5 battles and he hasn't restood yet, then no. Okay, so let's get into another ruling question. Okay, another ruling question is, can you still get his limit break off after you have broke ridden? So let's say you break ride, right? So you go 1 and then him swinging the Vanguard. Now, if in your drive check you happen to drive check a heal trigger and you heal back down to 3, you will not be able to get his limit break off. He will not be able to restand, and this is the reason why. It's because the game state, as his limit break activates after that battle. So after you twin drive and after your opponent takes damage, that's when his limit break becomes active. And so the game's going to check, are you at 4 damage, and have you fulfilled the condition of him swinging at the Vanguard for the second battle? You swung at the Vanguard for the second battle. That's great. So that's one condition fulfilled. Second condition, are you at 4 damage, and are you at 4 damage for limit break? If you're sitting at 3, no. So, again, if you drive, it sucks. I've done it before. I did it in the last tournament. I hit a heal trigger, went back down to 3, couldn't finish the limit break turn. It's not like Maelstrom where he gets the auto effect of if it hits counterblast 1, draw 1, retire 1 for the turn. He's not like that. His effect activates after the twin drive, not before. So, there's that. Now, let me get into some ideal formations. Okay, guys, this is actually my favorite field formation. I have Diamantes here who can swing and hit an 11k Vanguard, so that's 1 hit confirmed. Next, I have Twin Strike Braid Shooter. I mean, he can be an 11k as well. Like I could put a transport here, or whatever, but I'm just going to use him as an example. And this can be during the break right turn or before the break right turn, or not during break right turn. So I have them here Tetra Drive with a 7K booster. I prefer a 7K booster just because of the amount of cross rides. But if not, make do with what you got. So, but this is what I prefer. And then I love having this 16K Tidal Assault column. This column pretty much can seal the game for you. And I can get into why. So you'll swing here, hit confirm on that. They're going to drop or take damage. Move him up. Swing with your Vanguard. Don't even boost. Just swing with your Vanguard. That way he can still hit 12. They're going to probably drop a shield or two, whatever, for you. And then your drive check. Now, you can throw your drive check on your Vanguard or your rear guard or whatever. You can throw your drive check on your Vanguard if you want to. But let's say you happen to hit a... let's say you happen to hit a crit trigger. Okay. Crit. Just give all effects to Tidal Assault. Now, here's why. Or you can just give crit here, power here. Now, here's why. Because now your Tidal Assault is going to hit confirm for a 14K. He's going to hit confirm for a 5K block, restand, and then swing and force a 10K block. So that's pretty much a total of 15K that you're going to knock out your opponent's hand or intercepts. But you're not going to use that yet. Next, you're going to swing 12. You can either swing 12 at the Vanguard or take out an intercept unit. Then you can swing that 14 at the Vanguard, restand, then Tetra Drive, restand, and then swing for 18K. That means that it's going to be a 10K for one to pass on the 13K Vanguard. And then any trigger effects, if they perfect guard it, whatnot, whatever, throw them all on Tidal Assault, because then he'll become a 21K column or higher, depending on how many triggers you've placed on him for a 6th attack. So this is pretty much a 6th attack. This is why I still like the Storm Riders, even if you have, if you had Basil in that formation. You know, you can, and you had a clear spot on field. Call Malika, push in the soul, give Basil plus 3K. He'll be hitting for 13. Still good. But that's one of my ideal formations. Another one I like is, now y'all like, Cardfight King. What's this? Alright, so, I have a grade 3 back here because this is a formation that's like, this is kind of like an emergency formation. And this formation will use up 3 counterblast. This formation, I mean, Wheel Assault, I've already talked, I'll probably make a video on him a little bit, but he is used scarcely. You use him scarcely. You don't want to blow your counterblast with him because Tetra Drive needs 2 counterblasts open for him to continue to get his effect off. So he's not really that essential till late game. Now, getting into the turn, you have these grade 3s here. You can use this as a poke column. Poke at the Vanguard or poke at a rear guard. Don't even boost him. Just leave him like that. Next, again, swing 11 or 21, whichever one it is. Swing at the Vanguard with your Tetra Drive. After that battle, let's say you get a trigger. Let's say you hit a crit trigger or whatever. Okay, slap the crit trigger right on here. Slap him right onto the transport behind him. Or the draw trigger or whatever. Slap it onto the transport behind Tetra Drive. Next, swing with the 18K column at the Vanguard or whoever. After that, counterblast 1, and then take this Tetra, take him, swap their positions. Now, you have a full 18K, you have full at least 18K column. If not, if you put a trigger on it, that's a full 23K column. Ready to swing at the Vanguard, and then you'll be able to restand Tetra Drive and swing again. So that's just a situation where you would have to use him, but again, you're using up 3 counterblasts, so it's it's really more or less an emergency formation of what you're going to have to do. Let me see what else. Alright, now this field formation kind of looks a little bit ugly. You know, you got a draw trigger boosting transcore, you got a nice 16, 20, 19K column if you do the thing, whatever there. You got Basil and him. Okay, so Basil's not going to hit. Well, sometimes what I like to do is, like, if I use Eric's skill, right? Okay, I hit or miss, whatever. I love calling my draw trigger behind Transcore, except against, like Dauntless Reverse and things like that, because it's still a 17, so you're still forcing out a 10K shield on them, at least. And when it comes break right turn, So let's go break right turn. That means that Tetra Drive would be at 21, or you can count them as one, put them at 23, whatever. You don't really need a booster unless you feel as if it's essential to force more cards out their hand. But what you can do is after you break ride, push her into the soul, give Basil the plus 3k. Now, I'm probably not going to go through the whole formation, but now Basil is going to hit and force a card out their hand. A card or force a damage out their hand. Obviously, if they hit a trigger during this, it kind of ruins the flow of how things go. Then you're going to have to use these as either poke or whiff columns. But regardless of that fact, Basil is still forcing out a card or them taking a damage. And then with Tetra Drive, they're still going to have to drop a card before they guard. And you never know what triggers you might hit. So that's pretty much it for this episode of Battle Tent. Give me one sec. I hope I clarified up some rulings for you guys. I know it's kind of a long video, but just watch it and you might like it. You might have liked it or whatever. But I hope I clarified some rulings. I hope I showed you some of my favorite formations that I like to do. Obviously, the formations are not going to look like that all the time. You may have a column with like Basil and perfect guard if I'm desperate, whatnot. But it happens. But sometimes just getting off your main Vanguard skill is enough to push and win for game. But that's all I got for you guys. Definitely like, comment, subscribe. And I have a Wheel Assault video, when and when not to use him, coming out soon. So stay tuned for that. Alright, Cardfight King, Aqua Life, baby, and I'm out.